Before we begin, I'd like to appreciate every single one of you. We have already reached 1200 subs in under 2 months, and the number keeps going. You are the ones who make me happier every morning, and I hope that you will share this long path with me. I've read so many positive and inspiring comments, and I want you to know that your support means everything. Thank you very much. Now, let's begin, shall we? First introduced in Star Wars Episode 2, clone troopers quickly became a significant part in the Star Wars universe. Unlike their counterparts, the stormtroopers, clone troopers were good guys, at least they seemed so. They fought for the Republic under their Jedi generals and proved to be immensely superior to battle droids. Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show made fans fall in love with clones even more, because we gained an opportunity to see them not like expendable soldiers, but like people with different personalities, qualities and characters. That made their betrayal in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, even more painful. Clone troopers played a huge part in Star Wars, so today we'll learn more about their life. In today's video, I invite you to dive into the random clone trooper's life, learn about his training, day-to-day activities, and know more about these soldiers. At the end of the day, they are magnificent, aren't they? Let's begin. Our today's hero is called CT-69420. Clone's designation number consisted of letters and digits. The abbreviations were CT, which means Clone Trooper. It was used by regular clones before they reached the rank of Commander. Captain Rex's designation was CT-7567. CC stands for Clone Commander, and I believe this was the highest rank a clone trooper could achieve. For example, CC-2224, Commander Cody. RC was the abbreviation used by Republic Commandos, like RC-1137 or Boss, the clone we play for in the Republic Commander game. But at the same time, Clone Commander Gregor used CC designation and not RC, so this raises some questions. Why did they use different designations? Maybe Gregor was a reg and later became a commando, or they just mashed everything up? Let me know in the comments. ARC troopers used the designation ARC, which means Advanced Recon Commando. When it comes to numbers, it's even more complicated. I did a lot of research in attempt to understand what clones' digits mean, but unfortunately I wasn't successful. Some clones have 4 digits, some have 6. In the beginning I thought that the designation number consists of 2 parts. First digits represent the number of the badge, and the other digits represent some kind of a birth number. For example, every member of the Bad Batch, or Clone Force 99, has 99 in their designation, like Crosshair is CT-9904. From his number we might say that he is the 4th member of the 99th batch, but I wasn't able to apply this to other clones. Captain Rex's number is CT-7567, so according to my theory he has to be the 67th member of the 75th batch. But we know that he belongs to the first generation of clone troopers, so why is his batch number 75? We also know from the Clone Wars TV show that Clone Commander Gregor had a completely different number compared to other clones. His designation was CC-557639. So what does 39 mean? With his number, my comprehension of their designations is not 100% correct. And it's sad because there is not much info covering it. If you fully understand what all these numbers mean, please write an explanation in the comments. It would be very nice for me and for the viewers. Apart from numbers and letters, clones like to give each other nicknames based on their abilities or their achievements in battle. Almost every clone had a nickname, and they were pleased when someone apart from other clones used their nickname instead of number. Let's move on to the time period. As I said before, clone troopers were first introduced in Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. These events take place 22 years before the Battle of Yavin, or in other words, before Episode 4 A New Hope. This was the beginning of the famous Clone War, which would last for 3 years and end with formation of the Galactic Empire. The creation of the army for the Republic was commissioned by Jedi Master Cypher Dyas. However, the Sith saw an opportunity for power and hired the criminal Pike Syndicate to shoot down the Jedi Master's starship over the moon of Oba Dia. After Cypher Dyas' death, the Sith were able to take control over the project, and from that point the tides have turned. Every clone was created from DNA of the famous bounty hunter Jango Fett, who was secretly hired by Count Dooku. The cloning process was conducted by the galaxy's best cloners, Kaminoans. on the water planet of Camino. Clones were bred in a special laboratory which contained thousands or perhaps tens of thousands of vessels or tubes with embryos. The DNA code of every clone trooper was altered, and Camino scientists managed to accelerate the growth of the clone troopers to make it 2 times faster. During the final stages of the creation process, a special inhibitor chip was installed in the clone's brain. Jedi Master Cypher Dyas thought of this chip as a way to control clones' behavior so they would be less aggressive and more obedient. But when the Sith took control of the whole cloning operation, this chip became a secret tool to destroy the Jedi. As you know, the Jedi didn't have a clue until their days came to an end. An identifying code was also implemented in the clone's body. It was inserted into the left wrist of a soldier and was used by the Grand Army of the Republic to identify and distinguish different clone troopers. After successful creation and reaching an appropriate age, at least the age of 5 years I believe, the educational and training processes began. Due to accelerated growth, clone education was designed to be quick and efficient. To help trainees memorize most of the information, Kaminoans used special focus-enhancing helmets, which we saw in episode 2 when Obi-Wan was inspecting the future army. Young clones were assigned to wear either an odd-class helmet or an even-class helmet, in order to foster a sense of teamwork and competitiveness. Helmets that had gold fittings were odd class, and helmets that had black fittings were even class. A clone in training held the rank of clone cadet and was a part of a certain squad. The purpose of dividing cadets into groups was to teach them a sense of cooperation and teamwork. Cadets had several kinds of instructors. Under their command, clones studied military technologies, a variety of weapons, armor, tanks, and different battle tactics. Younger clones were monitored by full-grown clone surgeons, and bounty hunters were hired to supervise the older clones. Sometimes even Jedi Masters participated in the training program. As we saw in the Clone Wars TV show, Jedi Master Shak Ti personally oversaw the training of new generations of clone troopers. ARC troopers were also assigned to inspect the progress of future troopers. Clones whose result turned out to be superior in comparison to the average trooper were given specialized training in order to become elite soldiers, such as clone commandos or ARC troopers. The clones who failed to complete their training several times were disqualified from becoming soldiers. Instead of military service, failed clones were given janitorial duties and dirty work. Cadets who succeeded in their trials were promoted to active duty and were able to rush into the battlefield. A novice clone trooper was regarded as a rookie, or shiny, by the older, more battle-experienced clones. If a clone survived his first battle, he was no longer considered a shiny, becoming a full-fledged soldier of the Republic. Clone troopers could be easily distinguished by their beautiful armor, which resembled their Mandalorian origin. The armor presented a set of form-fitting white plastoid plates over a black body glove. While armor was capable of withstanding impacts, pressure, and heat, it was vulnerable to a direct hit from a laser blast. The first version of clone trooper armor was named Phase 1 and soon proved to be very uncomfortable and was replaced by a more superior and optimized Phase 2 version. In addition to providing its wearer with better vision, the armor plates of the Phase 2 armor were lighter and stronger than that of Phase 1. The significant difference between the two versions of armor was the helmet. The Phase 1 helmet had a life support system. Phase 2 helmet didn't feature an internal life support system, which made its user utilize an external respirator when the breathable atmosphere was absent. Therefore, Phase 2 helmets featured an advanced filtration system and were also designed to be more comfortable to wear than Phase 1 helmets. Clone Trooper helmets had an installed tracking device so the command center could monitor troop movements, and a display screen which was built into the helmet's viewplate. The helmet also contained a comlink allowing troops to communicate. If needed, a clone could also attach macro binoculars, a rangefinder, or an additional visor to their helmets. At the beginning of the Clone War, Phase 1 armor used colors to distinguish clones trained for leadership roles, such as captains and commanders, from each other and the standard troopers in the Grand Army of the Republic. Phase 1 commanders were marked by yellow stripes, captains by red, lieutenants by blue, and sergeants were identified by olive green. As the Clone War progressed, Color gradually became used for the purpose of armor customization and unit identification. The trend was maintained during the service of Phase 2 armor, making different legions and clone troopers more distinctive. Clone troopers were armed with the DC-15A blaster carbine and more precise DC-15A blaster rifle for long-ranged combat, as well as blaster pistols for standard ranged combat. They also wielded several types of grenades, including electromagnetic pulse grenades and thermal detonators. Specialized clone divisions used other weapons and equipment which aided their missions, for example machine guns, more explosives, jetpacks, and so on. Apart from destroying countless battle droids and training in the barracks, clones were very happy when there was an opportunity to rest. Soldiers who were lucky enough to be stationed on a developed and friendly planet were allowed to freely access and enjoy any of the entertainment establishments available. Cantinas, bars, nightclubs, maybe movie theaters and museums. Based on the Clone Wars TV show, I can presume that all of the expenses were paid by the Republic, which is a great way to support your army. At these bars, clones chilled with their brothers, got drunk, watched galactic TV, competed with each other in games like sabacc or arm wrestling, and picked up some girls. A typical man thing to do. More experienced and mature clones preferred to do additional training, reading, developing battle strategies and tactics, and did other educational stuff. Clone troopers were fierce warriors who won countless battles. However, what they didn't know was that the whole war was orchestrated by one man, and all clone trooper deaths were meaningless, if you think of it in that way. This is kinda sad. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode of What If You Would Become Someone for One Day. Leave a like if you did, and write in the comments what shoes do you want to try on next. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for 1000 subscribers, and I'll see you soon in the next video. See ya!